Good afternoon, everybody. This is Paul. You're with the National Weather Service office. This is the 2 p.m. Sunday winter weather briefing. This is actually a redo since GoToWebinar crashed for everybody during our 2 p.m. briefing. The recording was not successful. So this is a quick redo of the recording. The important updates: winter storm warning has been issued for portions of the area. A winter weather advisory has also been issued for portions of South Central Texas. And a cold weather advisory is in effect for everybody, and that has been extended all the way into Wednesday. The next briefing will be tomorrow, Monday, January 20th. So the latest main points: the winter storm warning has been issued for the eastern half of South Central Texas through Tuesday afternoon. A winter weather advisory has been issued elsewhere. I'll show graphics that show which counties for both of those. The timing of the precipitation is basically Monday evening through Tuesday a.m. Snow and sleet totals of 1 to 2 inches are possible. The highest totals of this could be up to about 3 inches, and that's pretty much over our far eastern areas. Ice accumulations from freezing rain up to 1/10 of an inch is mainly going to be, hopefully, or maybe not an issue for central and southern areas. Locally higher totals possibly across the coastal plains. Overall, travel will be difficult, hazardous, and dangerous at times, especially in the warning area. Areas to the west and southwest along the Rio Grande Plains still have about a medium chance of some winter precipitation, but less impacts are expected over the southwest areas. And the cold weather advisory has been extended all the way through Wednesday morning for the dangerous wind chills, and then also the coldest morning, which is going to be Wednesday morning. So we'll have to watch a refreeze, and we'll talk about that. Here were the 1 p.m. temperature updates. You see 30s and 40s across the region. The high pressure currently over the central part of the United States is kind of working its way down into Texas. Here's an image showing the winter weather advisory that's in effect from 6 p.m. Monday through 6 p.m. Tuesday. You can see the Hill Country counties, portions of the southern Edwards Plateau, and the Rio Grande Plains down to the southwest. We're expecting minor travel issues or possible delays in this region. Light snow, trace amounts up to 1 inch are possible, with also some minor ice accumulations that could range from trace amounts to about a few hundredths of an inch of freezing rain. The winter storm warning has been issued for areas along Interstate 35, along Interstate 10, east of the eastern half of South Central Texas, and also areas of the I-37 corridor going down toward Corpus Christi. This also is in effect from 6 p.m. Monday to 6 p.m. Tuesday. In this region, we're expecting hazardous or dangerous travel could be expected with accumulating snow, freezing rain, and sleet. We'll go to some details in a second on that. Areas to the east could actually see the highest snow totals, and southeast areas could actually see the highest ice totals. So let's talk about the freezing rain potential first. As the precipitation actually starts Monday evening, it'll probably start out as a liquid form, freezing or drizzle or rain, and the temperatures will eventually cool to below freezing sometime in the overnight hours or late evening hours on Monday. This could create up to about 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain and ice accumulation. And you can kind of see on the map there, primarily in the southern half of South Central Texas. And again, the areas across the coastal counties out there by Kennedy, maybe Cuero, some of the models have been highlighting this area for several days now of having some higher local amounts. So we'll look out for that as well. Kind of another scenario we're watching this closely too are the potential of having even higher than 1/10 of an inch of freezing rain and ice accumulation. And again, if that would occur primarily across the southern areas of South Central Texas, including the coastal counties down here, where we do have upwards of about a 30% chance of getting totals that would be above the 1/10 of an inch. When it comes to snow and sleet, this map actually shows what our most likely scenario is, or our official forecast, with 1 to 2 inches of possible snow, maybe even up to 3 inches of snow out there by LaGrange, portions of Fayette County, portions of Lee County. With elsewhere, basically less than 1 inch. That could be a trace, that could be a dusting, but definitely the areas kind of along and east of Interstate 35 and along and north of Interstate 10 as you head toward Houston have the forecasted higher amounts. Kind of another scenario that could come into play would be even higher totals. So these are the chances of snow totals greater than 2 inches. You can see primarily concentrated along the Interstate 10 corridor as you head toward Houston. So our eastern counties of Bastrop, Lee, Fayette County in particularly would probably have the best risk of getting some higher totals than 2 inches. As mentioned, a cold weather advisory is in effect for all of our South Central counties. That is going to be for wind chill readings primarily in the teens and single digits, and that is in effect all the way through Wednesday morning. Just going very quickly through some of the temperatures that are expecting on Monday, January 20th, hard freeze in the morning, teens out in the hill country, 20s elsewhere. It will be turning cloudy during the day as the precipitation possibly starts to our south and then works our way into South Central Texas. That could be as early as late afternoon, but primarily in the evening hours. You can see high temperatures struggling to basically get out of the 30s in a lot of the different regions of South Central Texas. For Tuesday, the precipitation will be ending most likely in the morning hours, but the temperatures will be well below freezing, well into the 20s. So any sort of precipitation that does fall will likely stick and will likely kind of stick around for much of the day. As you see on the right, the high temperatures only expecting to be into the middle 30s, maybe even just right at freezing out in the hill country. So there is obviously a threat that if any of the precipitation does occur, it may not go away as we get into the afternoon hours. So that may be a lingering issue, especially as we go for travel, especially into Tuesday afternoon and the overnight Tuesday hours. So travel is not expected to be great, especially in that warning area across South Central Texas on Tuesday. As we get into Wednesday morning should be the coldest morning out of all the mornings, teens across much of South Central Texas. We are expected to warm up into the 40s by Wednesday afternoon, so that's the good news. Because it is going to be so cold on Wednesday morning, we do have to watch out for what I would call a refreeze of all the moisture. If there are still wet roads or moisture on the ground, leftover snow, sleet, maybe even some freezing rain, wherever that does occur, it will be cold enough that definitely all that will refreeze. So that is a potential of a travel issue or headache, especially on Wednesday morning. The lowest wind chills expected during this whole time at single digits out in the hill country and low teens elsewhere across South Central Texas. Again, that's why we have the cold weather advisory issued during that time. So just to wrap it up, the main points again, the winter storm warning has been issued. The winter weather advisory has been issued. There's still some wiggle room in the forecast. We're now looking at high resolution models that are coming into play. And so there could still be some changes to this, not only changes to the advisory and the warning areas, but then also how much precipitation we're expecting. The next briefing will be tomorrow, Monday at 2 p.m. And I will get this recording out as soon as I can.